Ever wonder why that ex suddenly disappeared from your radar? They're still watching you and they want to see more. That's right. While they might have left your life, they haven't left your profile. Today, I'm breaking down the genius psychological tricks that make your ex unable to resist checking your social media. This isn't about getting them back, it's about understanding the power dynamics of social media after a breakup. I'll show you exactly how to create that irresistible digital presence that keeps them coming back to your profile again and again. Most people make critical mistakes that actually push their ex away from checking their updates. But the method I'm sharing flips the script completely. It uses proven psychological triggers that create intense curiosity. The best part? These techniques work whether you've been broken up for 3 days or 3 years. They tap into basic human psychology that doesn't fade with time. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to post, when to post it, and how to create that perfect balance that makes your profile impossible to ignore. This isn't about games. It's about understanding human behavior and using it to your advantage. When a relationship ends, our brains don't immediately shut off feelings. Everything shared during that connection, memories, inside jokes, emotional bonds, stays active in our minds. This creates a psychological vacuum that demands information. Social media fills that vacuum perfectly. It offers a window into what was once familiar territory. An ex checking your profile isn't just being nosy. They're satisfying a deep psychological need to process the change in your relationship status. Curiosity drives this behavior at its core. Humans are wired to seek information, especially about people we've been intimate with. Your ex wants to know, are you suffering, thriving, dating someone new? These questions buzz in their mind, creating an itch that only scrolling through your profile can scratch. This connects directly to FOMO, fear of missing out. Even though they chose to exit your life, exes still feel entitled to know what's happening in it. They fear you might be having amazing experiences without them. This fear creates a powerful pull towards your social media. Research shows this behavior activates the same brain regions as addiction. Each time they check your profile, they get a small dopamine hit, especially if they discover something new. This creates a cycle that keeps them coming back repeatedly. Most people miss a crucial point. This behavior is rarely about reconciliation. It's about information gathering and emotional processing. Your ex might check your profile while having no intention of getting back together. They simply can't help themselves. This knowledge gives you leverage. By understanding exactly what drives an ex to stalk your profile, you can strategically create content that intensifies these psychological triggers. The brain craves narrative completion. When a relationship ends abruptly, it leaves mental loose ends. Your social media provides the closure their brain seeks. By controlling what information they see, you control the narrative they create about your post-breakup life. This isn't manipulation. It's simply working with basic human psychology. By creating strategic uncertainty and selective visibility, you tap into their natural curiosity and FOMO, making your profile impossible to resist. Nothing kills curiosity faster than desperation or bitterness. These emotions reek through screens. When an ex senses you're posting solely to get their attention, they immediately lose interest. Human psychology works against neediness. We value what appears unattainable, not what's clearly trying to grab us. Posting angry rants, passive-aggressive quotes, or obviously staged photos signals you're still emotionally invested. This actually gives your ex power. They think I'm still affecting them this much. Then they move on, satisfied their departure has impacted you. Game over. Authenticity creates genuine intrigue because it's unpredictable. When you post real moments from your actual life, new interests, genuine smiles, true accomplishments, you become a mystery worth solving. Your ex can't help but wonder what else they might be missing. This approach works because humans crave authenticity in a world full of filters and facades. We're naturally drawn to what feels real. Each authentic post makes your ex question their decision, wondering what version of you they missed while in the relationship. Subtle cues of growth trigger powerful emotions. A photo showing you enjoying an activity they never knew you were interested in raises questions. Did they always have these sides to them? What else didn't I know? These questions create insatiable curiosity. Setting realistic expectations matters too. This strategy won't necessarily win your ex back. That's not the goal. Instead, it creates a psychological presence in their mind. It makes your digital footprint impossible to ignore. Success means they can't help checking your profile regularly. This approach puts you back in control of the narrative. Instead of them moving on completely, forgetting about you, you remain a fascinating chapter they keep returning to. You become the book they can't put down even when they try. Physical distance might separate you, but psychological proximity can remain strong. Each time they check your profile, you occupy space in their thoughts. This mental real estate is powerful. It keeps you relevant in their world without you having to do anything directly. Posting frequency creates psychological patterns that can either bore or intrigue an ex. Post too often, and you seem desperate for attention. Every day looks like you're trying too hard to prove something. Post too rarely, and you fall off their radar completely. Neither achieves our goal. Ideal frequency sits in what psychologists call the curiosity sweet spot, about 2 to 3 posts per week. This schedule keeps you visible without seeming overeager. It gives each post more weight and significance. When content appears selectively, each new update feels like an event worth checking. Timing these posts strategically amplifies their impact. Many people reflexively check social media during predictable windows: early morning, lunch breaks, and late evening. Posting just before these peak usage times increases chances your content appears near the top of their feed. For even stronger impact, analyze when your ex typically engages online. Most people follow consistent patterns, posting, liking, or commenting during specific hours. Placing your content just before their active windows maximizes visibility without seeming intentional. Weekends deserve special attention. Sunday evenings trigger peak FOMO as people worry about missing weekend activities. A well-timed Sunday post showing you engaged in something interesting creates maximum psychological tension. Inconsistent timing between posts creates powerful curiosity loops. Human brains seek patterns and become uncomfortable when they can't predict them. If you post every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, your ex knows exactly when to expect updates. But varied timing keeps them checking repeatedly, never knowing when new content might appear. This unpredictability activates what psychologists call intermittent reinforcement, the same mechanism that makes gambling addictive. Sometimes they check and find something new, other times nothing. This inconsistency creates a compulsion to keep checking. Strategic silence periods work wonders too. Going completely dark for 5 to 7 Dalton's Wise after consistent posting triggers concern and curiosity. When you return with an intriguing post, the impact multiplies. This pattern mimics relationship dynamics that create anxious attachment. Disappearing, then reappearing, creates emotional investment. Stories and temporary content add another dimension. These 24-hour glimpses feel more authentic and create urgency. Knowing content will disappear drives immediate checking. The temporary nature makes each view feel more intimate, like they've caught a genuine moment rather than a curated post. Content that creates maximum intrigue follows a psychological principle called information gaps. These are posts that reveal just enough to trigger questions while withholding complete information. A photo showing part of an unfamiliar setting without explaining where you are. A caption mentioning an amazing night without details about who you were with. These gaps create mental tension that can only be resolved by further investigation. Group photos work particularly well in this strategy. Images showing you among new people, especially attractive ones, trigger immediate curiosity. Who are they? How do you know them? What's your relationship? Each unanswered question creates psychological discomfort that drives continued checking. Location tags from places with emotional significance or unexplored potential hit especially hard. Tagging yourself at a restaurant you both wanted to try but never visited. Checking in at a destination you once discussed traveling to together. These posts suggest you're fulfilling shared dreams without them. Partial information through cryptic captions creates powerful intrigue. Statements like "finally took the leap" or "never expected this turn of events" force viewers to fill in blanks with their imagination. This mental work creates stronger engagement than spelled out details ever could. Visual hints in backgrounds matter enormously. A coffee cup from an upscale cafe, a glimpse of a book they never saw you reading, evidence of new hobbies or interests in the corner of a photo. These subtle details suggest evolution without explicitly stating it. Showing improvement requires strategic subtlety. Direct before, after fitness posts or obvious bragging appears targeted and desperate. Instead, improvement should be visible, but not the focal point. A photo where you look great but are engaged in a new activity shifts focus from appearance to lifestyle. Career and personal development posts create particular fascination when framed as gratitude rather than achievement. Grateful for this new opportunity alongside a desk nameplate or project carries more authentic weight than "got promoted." It suggests you're thriving while remaining humble. Intellectual evolution triggers deep curiosity. Evidence you're exploring new ideas, reading challenging books, or developing skills they never saw in you upends their mental image. This cognitive dissonance between who they remember and who you're becoming creates a compelling need to reconcile these versions of you. Direct messages destroy mystery instantly. They signal clear intention and desperation, immediately removing any psychological leverage. When you text or DM an ex directly, you hand them control. They know exactly what you want, their attention. This knowledge makes your social media presence predictable and far less compelling. Indirect signals operate on different psychological principles. They create plausible deniability. Each post exists for its own sake, not seemingly crafted for one specific viewer. This ambiguity maintains the power dynamic in your favor. They wonder, is this for me? Or are they truly moving on? This uncertainty creates mental occupation far more powerful than direct contact. Mutual friends become powerful conduits in this strategy. When shared connections engage with your content, it appears in your ex's feed organically. Comments from mutual friends create social proof and legitimacy. They signal that others still find you interesting, valuable, and worth engaging with. Encouraging this engagement happens through reciprocity. Actively comment on mutual friends' posts first. This naturally prompts them to return the favor on yours. Each comment thread creates multiple opportunities for your content to appear in your ex's algorithm without you directly involving them. Tag strategies require careful calibration. Never tag your ex directly. This appears desperate. Instead, tag locations and events that create FOMO, a concert they wanted to attend, a restaurant they mentioned. These tags communicate experiences they're missing without explicitly addressing them. Group tags amplify FOMO significantly. When mutual friends are tagged in photos showing enjoyable experiences, your ex faces double exclusion. Not only are you having fun without them, but their other friends are included while they aren't. This creates powerful social pressure and curiosity. Comment sections provide another indirect channel. Engaging in visible, interesting conversations in comment threads makes your life appear rich with connection. These interactions seem authentic precisely because they weren't crafted for profile visitors, yet they're completely visible to anyone scrolling. Instagram close friends lists and selective story viewing create another psychological leverage point. If mutual friends can see your exclusive content, but your ex cannot, information asymmetry develops. They hear secondhand about content they can't access, creating intense curiosity about what they're missing. Glow ups work best when they appear natural and unforced. Personal growth that seems deliberately crafted for social media looks fake and desperate. Instead, document authentic changes happening in your life without drawing explicit attention to them. A book on your nightstand showing intellectual growth, gym equipment in the background suggesting physical improvement. These subtle cues register subconsciously and create more impact than obvious transformation posts. Physical improvements should unfold gradually across multiple posts. Avoid sudden dramatic reveals that scream, "Look how much better I am now." Instead, allow changes to become visible naturally over time. This progression appears authentic precisely because it isn't highlighted. When an ex notices these changes across weeks or months, they attribute genuine effort rather than a desperate attempt to impress. New interests and hobbies create powerful narrative shifts. Activities they never saw you engage in during the relationship suggest hidden depths they missed. Cooking classes, hiking trips, art exhibitions, dance lessons. These experiences hint at a multidimensional person they never fully knew. Each new interest raises questions about what else they might have overlooked. Career and educational achievements deserve special handling. Rather than announcing promotions or accomplishments directly, share moments that indirectly reveal growth. Coffee at a prestigious new workplace, books related to advanced studies, networking events with influential people. These contextual clues tell a story without explicitly bragging. Social circle expansions communicate value without words. Photos showing you connecting with new, interesting people suggest social growth. This works especially well when these connections appear to be high-value individuals or groups. An ex naturally wonders why these people find you worth spending time with. Emotional growth appears through changed perspectives. Sharing thoughtful insights or expressing gratitude for experiences demonstrates maturity. These posts suggest you've moved beyond any post-breakup negativity into a place of wisdom and perspective. This evolution appears particularly attractive compared to how they might remember you. Balance requires maintaining aspects of what initially attracted them while showing evolution. Complete transformation suggests rejection of who you were together, and by extension, rejection of them. Preserve enough familiar elements that they recognize the person they were drawn to while revealing new dimensions that create intrigue about who you're becoming. Comment responses to mutual friends require specific timing and tone to maximize impact. Responding too quickly suggests you're constantly monitoring social media, appearing desperate and available. Instead, allow 3 to 5 hours before engaging with comments. This delayed response indicates a busy, fulfilling life outside digital spaces. When responding, match enthusiasm levels without overstepping. Brief, warm exchanges suggest social comfort without revealing too much information. Wit and humor in these interactions create magnetic appeal. Light-hearted banter and inside jokes with mutual friends show social confidence and emotional stability. Anyone viewing these exchanges senses you're thriving socially. Each comment thread becomes a microcosm of your broader social value, visible proof you remain connected and appreciated within shared circles. Content that invites questions operates on curiosity triggers. Photos showing partial context work brilliantly here. A suitcase without a destination, a celebration without explaining the achievement, a new environment without identifying the location. These incomplete narratives naturally prompt questions from viewers. Each question creates engagement opportunities that extend visibility in feeds. Open-ended captions drive engagement without explicitly asking for it. Statements like, "best decision I've made recently," or "this changed everything," naturally prompt curiosity. When mutual friends ask follow-up questions, these interactions create multiple visibility points in interconnected social networks. Visual mysteries in photos generate organic engagement. Objects that seem significant but unexplained. Settings that appear unique but unidentified. People partially visible but not introduced. These visual elements trigger the brain's pattern recognition systems, creating discomfort that can only be resolved through questions and engagement. Maintaining engagement without seeming available requires strategic inconsistency. Respond to some comments but not others. Engage deeply in certain conversations while leaving others with minimal response. This unpredictable engagement pattern creates what psychologists call intermittent reinforcement, the same mechanism that makes social media itself addictive. Time-limited engagement windows work effectively here. Appear online and highly responsive for brief, unpredictable periods. During these windows, engage enthusiastically with multiple people, then disappear completely for longer stretches. This pattern suggests a rich offline life where social media holds limited importance, making each appearance more valuable. Selective visibility through features like Instagram close friends or private stories creates powerful engagement dynamics. When mutual connections reference content your ex can't see, information asymmetry develops. They become aware of conversations they're excluded from, creating a compelling desire to reconnect. Excessive posting instantly signals desperation regardless of content quality. Even fascinating updates lose impact when shared too frequently. This overexposure communicates clear intention. You're performing for an audience rather than living authentically. Limit posts to 2 to 3 weekly maximum, ensuring each carries genuine value rather than serving as filler content meant only to maintain visibility. Obvious staging ruins credibility immediately. Photos clearly taken multiple times to achieve perfect angles. Captions that sound rehearsed rather than natural. Activities that don't align with your established interests. These manufactured moments create cognitive dissonance for viewers who sense the fakery beneath the surface. Authenticity requires genuine participation in whatever you're showcasing. Relationship-focused content creates the worst backfires. Quotes about love and loss, songs about breakups, vague references to relationships or dating. These transparent attempts to communicate relationship status signal you remain emotionally fixated. They shift power dynamics instantly, revealing your continued investment while suggesting they've moved on completely. Reactive posting patterns destroy strategic advantage, posting immediately after they do, creating similar content to what they've shared. Engaging with mutual connections only after they have. These synchronized behaviors reveal you're monitoring their activity, completely reversing the psychological leverage this strategy aims to create. Obvious jealousy bait appears pathetic rather than intriguing. Posed photos with attractive strangers, exaggerated displays of affection with new dating prospects, artificial situations designed solely to trigger envy. These transparent attempts at manipulation appear childish and desperate, diminishing rather than enhancing your appeal. Maintaining dignity requires genuine forward momentum, actual personal growth, real new experiences, authentic connections. Without these substantive changes, social media strategies ultimately fail because they lack foundation. Digital presence must reflect actual evolution, not fabricated narratives created solely for social media consumption. Self-respect manifests through content boundaries. Never post anything you'd feel embarrassed about later. Avoid sharing when emotionally vulnerable or intoxicated. Resist impulses to create content specifically designed to hurt or trigger jealousy. These momentary satisfactions damage long-term perception of your character and judgment. Privacy preservation signals confidence and value. Share selectively rather than broadcasting every detail. Maintain mystery through partial disclosure. Allow curiosity about unexplained aspects of your life. This selective sharing suggests a person whose validation and identity exist independent of social media attention, precisely the quality that creates genuine intrigue. This strategy works because it leverages fundamental human psychology. Our brains can't resist curiosity, connection, and narrative gaps. Each carefully crafted post creates questions that demand answers, keeping your ex engaged without direct communication. Remember that true power comes from genuine growth, not performance. When your social media reflects authentic, positive changes, you win twice. Your ex remains intrigued by your evolution, and you actually become a better, more fulfilled person in the process. Balance is everything here. Too aggressive, and you appear desperate. Too subtle, and you vanish from their radar. The sweet spot lies in creating just enough intrigue to maintain presence in their thoughts without revealing your intention. Eventually, your ex stalking your social media becomes secondary to the real benefit, reclaiming your narrative and moving forward on your own terms. When you focus on creating content that genuinely represents your best self, their attention becomes a byproduct rather than the goal. If you found these psychological insights valuable, hit that like button right now. These strategies work in many social situations beyond just ex relationships. Subscribe to our channel for more genius psychological tricks that give you the upper hand in life's most challenging social dynamics.